Hey friends, welcome back to Kiki's Closet. Today we're chatting with three of my friends who are currently making their Broadway debuts in my favorite show of the season, and Juliet. Let's go!
Come on and come and play in Kiki's Closet today!
Please help me welcome my friends, Michael Ebon Carrier, Matt Raffy, and Tiernan Tunnicliffe. Hey everybody! Welcome to Kiki's Closet. Thanks so much for joining me here today. First question, what color is your heart today?
Oh. My favorite color is lavender, so I'll say lavender.
I think it's a greenish today. My favorite color is orange, but I think my heart is a greenish today. It's a little bit like productive, peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, productive, peaceful green. Okay.
My heart is orange because I bought oranges today at Target.
Come through Target Produce. The three of you are currently making your Broadway debuts in And Juliet, one of my favorite new shows of the season. Actually, I will just say it's my favorite new show of the season. It's a wonderful explosion of a rainbow on stage with like boy band music, and I just love it so much. I've seen it twice already. I've got to ask, like, are you having as much fun on stage as like the audience is?
Yes.
Yes.
Short answer, yes.
Yeah, short answer.
For sure. I think this piece does lend itself to us being ourselves and having fun on stage. It's not like we're playing characters that are so far from us, like having a good time and like being at a party vibes. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of room for self-expression in our own like little moments to have. So I use those moments to for sure have fun.
No tea, no shade of Les Mis, but like it's not like we're like going on stage. We're like the barricade. We're having a fun, goofy time on
party,
stage, and so that aspect is fun. And also, it's just a reflection of like the family that we have backstage. I will say, my body hurts, honey.
Yeah.
So there are, in an 8-show week is no joke.
I love the diversity on stage. What's the best part of sharing the stage with such a diverse company of performers?
We all bring our own personalities and like who we are in the real world to the stage and to the story. The production team give us that freedom and that space to do that, which was such a gift. In past contracts and past shows, you kind of have to match each other and do what everybody does. It's all very separate, like girls do this, boys do that. And it's like in this show, there's none of that. It's like they really want us to be ourselves on stage, like within, the parameter of the story and like the characters, but still there's so much freedom. And it's like being able to do that and look at each other on stage and smile and have fun feels like I'm just with my friends. It makes the hard work that much easier.
It takes like the tokenism kind of out of it because everyone's so individual. So I think we've all done shows where you're like, oh, we're the one brown kid or we're the one gay kid or whatever it is. There's so much of that on stage. There's so many of us that it doesn't feel like, yes, we're all individual, but it doesn't feel like it could be in other companies.
In the rehearsal process, did you feel like you got to really show your queerness with the creative team?
I was so used to being in these contracts, especially if you're ensemble, you have to like, there's like a kind of box that you have to fill and you have to do these kinds of moves, and you can't be too pretty with the arms if you're like part of like the male ensemble and stuff like that, right? You have to be more like rugged and strong and whatever. And I've done ensemble tracks before, and I was kind of expecting, I wasn't too sure what to expect.
They're so different.
Yeah, and all of a sudden I'm in the room, and Luke and like the director and Anna, like his assistant, like they were just like, no, like be yourself, like bring that to the character. We all understudy principals, and they even told all of us, like, guys, like, not one of you plays the principal role the same, and I don't want you to. I really want you to bring yourself to that principal role, which that on itself is so, like, whoa. Because I've covered principal roles before, like, and you always kind of match what that actor, like, does. And this time it was completely the opposite.
Speaking of covering principals, the first time I saw And Juliet, where is it? Hold on, it's right here.
Pull out the
Where'd it go?
The receipt.
Where's the receipt? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay, there it is. I saw Matt play May, and we were running late, and I didn't even open my playbill until intermission, and I didn't even know Matt was the cover. That's how fabulous they were on stage.
Yay.
And both of you cover May, this fabulous, beautiful character that has their own coming-of-age story next to Juliet. What is it like playing a character on Broadway that's like never really been seen on Broadway before? Not like the specific character itself, but like a character like this. Because non-binary and gender non-conforming people are just more part of the conversation now. Like, we're finally getting to see stories like theirs represented on stage. What is it like?
It feels good, really. Honestly, it feels authentic. We have to be careful with May, right? A lot of people, it's the first time they've seen a non-binary character, you know, and we're very particular about it in the way that we play it and in the things that May says. Everything's very thought out. As non-binary people, we don't want to be. We've all been like the laughing stock, the clown, the this, the that, and the story does a really good job of like flipping that around and making May like a true ingenue of the piece. It is about their queerness and their non-binariness, but it's also about like who May is at the heart and the soul, which is I think why it resonates with so many people.
The writers did such an amazing job with the material that they gave May. Your main song, "I'm Not a Girl, Not Yet a Woman," that song starts and you kind of feel, I felt both times I saw it, the audience like giggle a little because we know the song, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is such a beautiful insight in how May is viewing the world and viewing themselves. And I really think I gotta commend like the writers for like making sure the material really matches and is respectful of the character and of non-binary people in general.
Whoever plays May right now and in the future will always connect to that in their own way, in their own story. And I think that so many times the audience, regardless of their queer journey or non-queer journey, just like whoever they are, everyone, like you said, it takes a second to get on board, and then once they understand what's going on, everyone in that room is like on board and feels it. And I think everybody, no matter what you are, who you are, you've had a transformation in your life at one point, right? And I think that like that's what they connect to at the heart of it, because it is a transformation. It is a realization that like I am who I am in this moment, and that's okay. And sometimes you just don't know, and that's okay too. And it's all about the journey, and it's really beautiful. And also Tiernan covers Anne Hathaway in the show.
Of course.
Iconic on itself.
Are you having so much fun singing all those like rock star ballads when you get to go on?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's equally nerve-wracking and also fun. And I think the thing about covering, someone like Betsy Wolfe is it's such an honor, and it's also like such a great exercise in my imposter syndrome. When she's not there, I play the role, and it would be a disservice to not believe in myself enough to play that role. And there's this thing that I don't know if you guys experience, but like with covering any type of role, you have however much time you get the call to get into the character that's not your own and really own it and really play it with your authenticity. Every time I play her, I feel like I learn something new about myself.
We've seen with recent legislation across the country and even hate crimes in our own city that LGBT community is under attack, unfortunately. And I find that Anne Juliet is like the best like combat for that kind of hate, because it just is a show that radiates love and acceptance. And I want to know why you think Anne Juliet is the story for today.
I won't have the best answer, but the thing that I will say is I have met people who come out of this show who don't look like the people on stage, who aren't our target audience necessarily, who have been touched by the show and enlightened to a new queer experience that they didn't know possible, and who leave it with a new understanding and a new compassion, because I think they come to the show for pop hits, for a fun time, and then they leave with this deeper understanding of what the queer experience is.
I think the pop catalog really helps with that too. It helps even not a regular theater goer connect to the material because they know the songs, they know the lyrics already.
Whatever goes on in the world, I think for 2.5 hours, people can sit here with us and let us just like take their mind off like personal stuff or world stuff that may be heavy on them. And I think they get to just like breathe and just feel so joyful and feel all the love and feel all the like the passion that's told through the story. Yes, it's like pop and fun, but also there's such a beautiful love story, and there's a heart to the show that hits you out of nowhere. And often people go ha ha ha, and they go like they start crying, and they're like, oh my god, I was crying.
I think it comes from that celebration of the moments that we have. We're like putting these moments on a pedestal and celebrating them, which I think why it hits people.
That's it, folks. Go check out my friends Anne Juliet on Broadway on 42nd Street. You'll have the time of your life. Thanks so much again for joining me, and I'll see you real soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Come on and come and play in Kiki's closet today.